What's up, YouTube? Franchise Sports TV back again with another video. Alright, okay. I think it's time to make this video right quick. So, you know what has to stop in the NBA? Flopping. Flopping has to stop. I have seen so much of it this year. I thought, let me see something right before I really go in. Because the flopping, I just can't stand the flopping in the NBA anymore. I saw it in the finals, game 5, with some people, most notably Bam Adebayo. He kept flopping. He get nugged by a little bit, and all of a sudden he's falling all over the floor. And the biggest person of this, actually, was made a point not too long ago was the Lakers flopping. As we all know, they interviewed LeBron James in the post game against, I think it was against the Warriors, and they asked him, I forgot what the exact question, but you guys seen the video. I made fun of the video, but LeBron James says, I don't condone flopping. We don't work on flopping, even though there's probably 10 minutes of video of him flopping in his whole entire career. But this flopping has to stop. They got to do something about this because the flopping is annoying. It takes the fun out of the game. Somebody can go on the run and they just start flopping. Supposedly, per rules, in the NBA, a penalty for flopping is a technical foul called in-game, and a fine if it's called after the game in video reviews. But I haven't seen that at all. Have we seen that at all anywhere? The technical foul is a unsportsmanlike conduct technical foul, one of the 6 fouls a player may assess before disqualification. No ejection is possible. Supposedly. If you go back to 97, the NBA added a rule to cut down on floppy and the key in the paint near the basket, adding a 4-foot restricted arc around the center of the basket to prevent flops. But that hasn't worked. According to rules, such flops are charged as blocking fouls or no calls or goaltending if above the rim. Supposedly in the 2012-13 season, the league began fining guilty players. But I haven't seen any of these fines. You got Austin Reeves flopping everywhere, jerking his head, breaking his neck. Dudes barely get touched and they just on the floor. And I saw that so much during these playoffs this year. I don't know why I saw it this much this year, but it has to stop. It has to stop. This is getting on my nerves. It's ruining the game. But going back to 2012-2013 season, they say in the rule book, any player who flops during the regular season will be warned. I don't even see that. Followed by fines in increments of $5,000 for a successive flop during the season. Each successive flop during the season. The fines will increase to $30,000 for a 5th offense, but a suspension would also be considered. In the playoffs, the players are fined $5,000 for the first flopping offense, $10,000 for a second, $15,000 for a third, $30,000 for a fourth. Any player who flops 5 or more times could be suspended, and I have seen that more than plenty of times. Some people's game is predicated to flopping. LeBron, Austin Reeves. But I think the flopping became more pronounced. Actually, people start seeing it. Actually, the history of it actually starts with Frank Ramsey, who played on the Boston Celtics from 54 to 65. Wrote a cover story for Sports Illustrated in 1963. You could say he could have been the originator of flopping. He kind of in that cover story detail his flopping and how he does it. But I guess the NBA president at the time, Walter Kennedy, got on him for it. Red Auerbach criticized flopping. during um and he didn't like it at all. But going back to 2008, I'm sorry for sounding scattering, but going back to 2008, they also said this. The NBA announced to impose more fines on players who show a clear case of flopping, suspensions for repeat offenders. And like I said, according to this, the league never imposed any fines, but continuing to monitor the situation. But they haven't done anything. You even have players complain about flopping. Going back to Rasheed Wallace as well. If you go back, I guess he was in an interview with 2008 when he was on the Pistons. He said all that bull, you know what he says, ass calls they had out there. He's talking about the rest. You ever seen that? You know what? Wallace said you seen them calls. The cats are flopping all over the floor and they're calling you know what. That you know what ain't basketball out there. It's all you know what. Explicit entertainment. You all know that it's all you. Dang, he cursed at everything. Cursing throughout this whole entire tirade. I guess he complained about it. Rasheed Wallace of all people. He complained. He kept on complaining about it. Even Commissioner David Stern, when he was commissioner, complained about it. But they haven't done anything about it. Shaq complained about it. He said he loathes opponents who resort to flopping. He criticized Dikembe Mutombo during the 2000-2001 season. Vlade Divac 2002. I don't want to hear Shaq complain about anything about the 2002 Western Conference Finals. But this has been a problem for the longest time. If we can go back to 2012, the Indiana Pacers even complained about it, but they never got their wish to find it to stop. Vogel ended up getting fined $15,000 by the league for criticizing the refs about them not going harder on the flops. And we all know who the culprit of that is. If you're thinking about 2012 Eastern Conference semifinals, you guys know your history. Pacers and a certain team in South Florida, which is crazy that he got fined for that. Frank Vogel. Even the Bulls, when they played the Miami Heat the next year in 2013, they criticized once again the Miami Heat, especially LeBron James, for flopping. LeBron James said he denied accusations of flopping. I don't need to flop. I play aggressive, but I don't need to flop, even though there's footage of your dumbass flopping all over the place during that series. And the series before that, semifinals before that. But, in 2013, 8 players were fined for flopping during the playoffs. Pacers Jeff Pendergrass, Derek Fisher of the Thunder at the time, he's been known for flopping. Knicks J.R. Smith, Memphis Grizzlies Tony Allen, of course the prime candidate for flopping, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Pacers David West, and Lance Stevenson. Stern said that the amounts of the fines were insignificant when the average player's salary is $5.5 million. Anyone thought was going to happen was allowing hope to prevail over reason. June 7, almost 10 years ago, a couple of days ago, 2013, Mark Cuban announced that he's funding a study on flopping. One of Cuban's companies, Radical Hoops, had provided $100,000 to biomechanics experts from Southern or SMU, launched an 18-month study into forces involving collisions during basketball plays. The goal is to investigate the possibility of using the video motion capture techniques to distinguish between legitimate collision and flop. Mavericks forward Dirk Nowitzki did not believe the flops were a problem if a player was pushed and tried to sell a little bit to get a favorable call from the referees. And I think that's what most of the refs are looking at. Even if they pushed a little, they might get the call. But I'm seeing some stuff. People are not even getting pushed. He's just flopping. And it's annoying. I'm sorry. The flopping is annoying. I don't want to see it in the game no more. But we all know nothing's going to be done because this was complained 10 years ago. Back in 2008. Complained in the 80s and 70s, and nothing has been done. It's just been ramped up. It seems like this year, because every time I watch a game, I'm seeing Austin Reeves shake his head all around. trying to get a call. And you know, it's another thing I hate. I hate this damn pump faking and baiting for a foul. I thought they was supposed to stop that last season. Because I remember clearly after the end of 2020-2021 season, they said they was going to cut down on these pump faking fouls that James Harden and Trae Young are known for doing, mainly those two. But nope. They did it for 10 games until last season, meaning the 21-22 season. Just now, this season just passed. And they really haven't did anything since then. I guess in their defense, we need to make the game exciting, put more points on the board. No, you need to make the game fair and watchable. I had enough of this flopping. I had enough. It's disgusting. I'm getting tired of it. But anyways, I don't know. I feel like it's just going to keep going on and on and on. And on. And on. And on. They say they have rules, but they don't use the rules. They don't find nobody. Supposedly in women's college basketball for next season, flopping will be a technical foul as I'm looking. Sure. But anyways, I hate flopping. They need to do something about it. But before I go, I wanted to leave you guys with this, because this is most recent anyways. According to an article on SB Nation, the NBA is finally maybe cracking down on flopping with the new rule. And it's being tested in the summer league, up and coming summer league. Let's skim some of this. But they said NBA is finally cracking down on flopping. A new rule suggestion should be tested as early as the Las Vegas Summer League in July, according to the Athletic Shams. I ain't gonna try to say his last name. The league is considering an in-game penalty for flops that result in a technical foul, free throw. A trial run for the new rules being considered for Summer League. The new NBA's newest idea to put an end to flopping comes 2 weeks after Golden State Warriors coach Steve Kerr begged the league to do something about it during his team series with the Los Angeles Lakers these playoffs. The Lakers drew more fouls than any team, like I said before, and oftentimes their players would be accused of flopping. Looking at you, Dennis Schroeder, Austin Reeves as well. Of course, the Heat and Celtics have been widely accused of flopping over the years as they faced off in the Eastern Conference Finals. Here's what Kerr told the media on flopping earlier this month, because this article is dating back to the end of May. I think, to me, what I learned in coaching in FIBA, there's a flop rule. The referee deems a player as flop. They're just called a technical foul, and it's pretty penalizing. And so the flopping has basically been eliminated from FIBA, and we have the ability to do the same in the NBA. I think we should address it because the players are so smart, and the entire regular season is about gamesmanship and trying to fool the rest. And this is how it's been for a while. And it's up to us as a league. Do we want to fix this? These are the things that are my personal plea to the NBA. I think we can do better in terms of cleaning up the flopping. In the meantime, I give the Lakers credit for the plays they've been able to sell. So the article also goes back to what I was talking about before, when the NBA tried to install anti-flopping policy back in the 2012-2013 season. But it seemed like it didn't work anyway. So we should see when it comes to that. But once again, not to repeat myself, I don't want to see flopping anymore. It's terrible. It's disgusting. But anyways, like, share, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think.